two nations, 8 years, and nearly 1 million lives changed forever. No victory, no celebration, only scars. This is the Iran-Iraq War, a forgotten fire that burned an entire generation. From 1980 to 1988, Iran and Iraq fought one of the longest conventional wars of the 20th century. A conflict filled with border disputes, political tensions, deadly trench battles, chemical weapons, and human loss on an enormous scale. In this documentary, we explore the historical facts, without taking sides, to understand how this brutal war began, how it unfolded, and why it remains one of the most devastating chapters in Middle Eastern history. The roots of the conflict go back decades. Iran and Iraq had long-standing disagreements over borders, especially the strategic Shatt al-Arab waterway, a river vital for trade and oil exports. In 1979, Iran went through a major political shift, the Islamic Revolution. The new Iranian leadership criticized Iraq's secular government, creating deep mistrust. Iraq, under President Saddam Hussein, saw Iran's internal turmoil as an opportunity to assert dominance in the region. This mix of political tension, fear, and territorial disputes created the spark. On September 22, 1980, Iraq launched a surprise attack. Airstrikes hit Iranian airbases, followed by a massive ground invasion across the border. Iraq expected a quick victory, but the war took a very different turn. By 1981, Iran pushed back and recaptured lost territory. But instead of ending the conflict, both nations dug in. What followed was years of brutal trench fighting, similar to World War I. Soldiers faced miles of mud-filled trenches, human wave assaults, artillery barrages, minefields, and constant exhaustion. Front lines barely moved, yet thousands died trying to shift them. One of the darkest chapters came with the use of chemical weapons. Iraq used mustard gas and nerve agents on the battlefield, causing painful deaths and long-term health damage to soldiers and civilians. Meanwhile, both sides bombed each other's cities in what became known as the War of the Cities. Civilians lived under constant fear as missiles and airstrikes hit residential areas, schools, and marketplaces. The conflict also spread to the Persian Gulf in the form of the Tanker War. Both nations targeted oil tankers and shipping routes, attempting to damage each other's economies. Several neutral ships were hit, drawing international attention and raising tension between regional and global powers. Throughout the war, many countries provided support, not for peace, but to protect their own strategic interests. Some supplied weapons, others offered intelligence or financial aid. The conflict became a geopolitical chessboard where powerful nations influenced events from a distance while the suffering on the ground continued. By the late 1980s, both Iran and Iraq were exhausted, economically, militarily, and emotionally. After 8 years of fighting, neither side achieved a decisive victory. In 1988, under United Nations Resolution 598, both nations agreed to a ceasefire. Borders returned almost exactly to where they were before the war started. The human cost was enormous. Nearly 1 million people were killed, wounded, or went missing. Entire cities were reduced to rubble. Economies struggled for years. Families lost sons, fathers, brothers, and children. The physical and emotional scars still remain across both societies. The Iran-Iraq War had no true winners. Only loss. It stands as a powerful reminder of how political rivalry, fear, and mistrust can escalate into a conflict that burns generations. Remembering this war is not about taking sides, it is about understanding the tragedy, honoring the lives affected, and learning the lessons history leaves behind.